Good evening, my beautiful friends. Well, it's time for round two of the origin story. So, little recap from last week. Last week we talked about myself growing up as the fat kid. And I basically covered ages birth to about 12. And to kind of recap who I was during those years, of course, I was fat. That's a given. But I was the chronic people pleaser. I was, very, very insecure. I was very shy. I was always feeling like a lot of insecurities, like I wasn't good enough. That's who I was from the age of 0 to 12. Now tonight, we're going to go the next step in the journey, which is really my teenage years. And oh, what fun were they? So I've got a question for you. What were you like as a teenager? Were you outgoing? Were you the partier? Were you the athlete, the academic, the nerd? What were you like as a teenager in high school? All right, because I'm going to talk about how I was during those years tonight, but I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you were like. So let me know below, guys. All right, let's get into it. Let's start at the wonderful age of 13, right when we become a teenager. So for me, I carried all those problems with me of the insecurities, the unworthiness. I carried all this with me into being a teenager. And the best way to put my teenage years, guys, was just lost. I was 100% lost in who I was, what my place was, what my purpose was. And honestly, if you think about it, it's very natural for a teenager to feel that way. Most teenagers in America right now feel that way. It's very natural. They're trying to figure out their place in this world. So like, okay, I want to try this. I want to do this. I'm hard-headed. I know everything. So I'm going to go do this, this, and this. They're trying to find their place in the world. That's exactly what I was doing as a teenager. But my problem was I carried all this baggage with me. So you want as a teenager to go into this part of your life with a blank slate and say, I'm going to go try this, see if I like it. I'm going to go try this, see if I like it. I went into everything and said, hey, I'm going to go try this and I'm probably going to fail at it. I'm going to go do this and I'm probably going to suck at it. Like everything I went to go do, I just had this overwhelming fear of failing. Why? Because I was so insecure. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. And, I was decent in academics when I applied myself. All my teachers will tell you that. When I actually tried, I got good grades. In athletics, okay, so we talked last time about me getting bullied because I was always around bigger, older kids. So me, the little short, fat kid, being around older kids, I was always getting bullied. But at this point in my life, I'm finally starting to grow. Finally getting tall. I think by the time I finished 8th grade, I was like 5'10". So I was sprouting. I was becoming a bigger person. And it was interesting because I told you I was a fat kid my entire life, which led to a lot of my insecurities. But in 7th grade, I actually lost a lot of weight. It was the first time in my life I'd ever, tried to lose weight. And I was successful. I lost a lot of weight, got down to a healthy weight. And I started to have a little confidence come up. And it was a really good feeling. I started to get some attention from girls. I became like 8th grade homecoming king, if that really means much. But the problem was that was just a physical fix. Inside, oh God, I was so terrified of everything in life. I'm still this way to this day, but you should have seen me try and talk to a girl. Oh, it was bad. I'm talking like Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights first interview bad. Yeah, that's how bad it was. And it was just because of the insecurities. So I went through that in middle school, but then when I got to high school, you enter high school around 14, 15 years old, I was presented with a decision. Okay, So my dad played college football. My mom played college basketball. My older brother was on track to play college football. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. So of course, I wanted to go do that. And it presented me with a fork in the road. Okay, I just lost all this weight. I got down to a healthy weight and I'm feeling good about myself. But my path that I'm thinking in my head, because you got to remember, I'm a people pleaser. So my path is, okay, how can I please everyone? So my path was to go play college football, because that's what everybody else in my family had done. They played college sports. So I came to this fork in the road, and I said, you know what? If this is the path for you, then you just need to start gaining weight because you're an offensive lineman. That was the identity in my head. I was an offensive lineman. So when I came to that fork in the road, I chose to go down that path. Yeah. Could I have played a lot of other positions? Absolutely. 100% I could have played fullback, tight end, linebacker, a lot of other positions. But in my head, I was the fat kid. So the easiest path, the less resistant path that I could go down was being an offensive lineman. So at that fork in the road, I was like, okay, bro, gotta start gaining weight again. So in high school, I put on 20 pounds every single year I was in high school. Graduating at 280 pounds. I think I was like 285 my senior year playing college football. And those high school years, I was lost. Literally, I'm just trying, I'm trying to look for the map. I'm trying to look for the GPS. Which way do I go? What do I do now? I'm so confused. And I was 100% lost. And once again, I think that's where a lot of teenagers find themselves, and they don't want to talk to anybody about it. I was extremely insecure, extremely lonely because I didn't have any real friends. The only friends I had were the ones I played football with. And, I wasn't real close to them because I was so insecure. So I was literally trying to find my way. How many of you out there were in that position where you're in high school and you literally just feel lost every day? Like, I know I'm supposed to go to class. I know I'm supposed to go to football practice, but everything in between, I have no clue. I have no clue where to sit for lunch today because I don't really have any friends. We have a 10-minute break between like third and fourth period. I'm going to go hang out with my dad because I don't have any friends because my dad's a football coach at the high school, so I can go talk to him. It even got so bad at one point, I stopped eating lunch in the cafeteria. I would bring my food so I could walk next door to the football stadium and go eat lunch with my dad, which was cool. Like spending my time with my dad every day was really cool because I really look up to my dad, admire my dad. But that's how antisocial I was in high school. I was like literally avoiding people just because I didn't know how to handle the interactions. So I start playing football, and it's literally my only sense of self-worth was found on the football field for like 3 hours a day. I would go to practice. I would excel at practice. I was very fortunate my freshman year. I'm going to say I was fortunate. Selfishly, I was fortunate. The guy in front of me got hurt, so I was able to start as a true freshman. So I got a lot of playing time early, which was really cool. But that was my only sense of self-worth. Outside of playing football, I had none. I had no identity. I had no clue. And I'm sitting here, like, as the years are going by, I keep devoting more of myself into football. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know if I liked football. There were times playing high school football where I'm like, I don't even know why I'm out here. Like, I know I'm good at it, and I know I can excel at this, but there's not a deep, like, burning passion for me to go play football every day. Like, I don't even know why I'm out here. I know, like, yeah, I want to be like my older brother. I want to be like my dad. I'm emulating the people that I admired, but I don't even know why I'm out here because I don't like doing it. I don't like getting beat up every day. I don't like, feeling, getting injured. I don't like all this crap. I don't even know why I'm out here. But I was trying to please everyone. In high school, the outside of football relationships that I had, which were very far and few between, they were exactly that. It was, okay, who can I please today? Oh, you want me to go do this? I'll go do this. Oh, you want me to go say this to this person? I'll go. Like, I was literally doing whatever I thought I needed to do to please whoever was asking me to do it. There was times I look back in high school, I wasn't a good person. I was mean. And it was hard because I was trying to gain acceptance. I was lost and I didn't know I was being mean. I was just following the crowd. I was doing what I thought was acceptable. And I look back at it and I'm like, wow, that was not cool, bro. Not cool at all. And, there's so many things that I could have done different in high school that I should have done different. But I'm glad I didn't do different because it's made me who I am today. So getting out of high school, I went to college. And yes, ended up getting a scholarship to play football at Southern Miss. In high school, I did see a lot of success. I was high school All-American, ranked number 2 center in the country. I was getting offers from all over. Chose Southern Miss because that's where my older brother went. Imagine that. But I'm going to tell you this, even though I was having that success on the field, in here, it meant nothing. It was cool. Signing day was cool. Being interviewed on TV was not cool because I didn't know what to do with my hands. Some of that stuff was cool, and it gave me little shots of pleasure. It gave me little shots of happiness. But it literally lasted 30 seconds, it was gone. Then I was back to being the insecure, lonely version of myself. So I get to college, exact same thing, almost on another level. So I'm away from my parents now, and the drinking that I started in high school continued. Yes, I will be completely honest about that. In high school, I developed, I'm not going to say I became an alcoholic or anything like that, because I didn't. But I was definitely a binge drinker in high school. Why? Because I didn't like myself. If I drank that much, I would forget who I am, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. That continued once I got to college. And I know that's just part of growing up. It's part of learning. You can say all that. But I'm going to be real with you on why I was doing it. So everything I went through in high school, because I never was taught how to do something about it, because no one ever woke me up to a different way of thinking, I continued every bad habit I had during high school into college. Hanging around with the wrong people, doing things I should be doing. Now, don't get me wrong. I have some amazing, amazing friends that I met in college. Some of my best friends to this day are the ones that I met in college. Both my roommates, just everyone that I was able to have that experience with were amazing. But I was doing a lot of things I know I shouldn't be doing. And I was making a lot of decisions that I shouldn't have been making. But I was learning. At least I think I was. I was, living for the weekend. Football was not fun anymore. It was a job. We had 12 fun days a year, 16 fun days a year, however many games we played in the season. But I'm going to tell you this, guys. A lot of people ask me, do you have any regrets about playing college football? I mean, I was in physical therapy today and getting my shoulder worked on, and right there's my range of motion. It's bad. So do I have any regrets? My only regret playing college football, and I don't even know if you really call it a regret, was I never took time to enjoy it. I was so consumed with my insecurities, which were led by fear. Let's call it what it is. I was so consumed with the fear of failure in every aspect of my life, I completely just washed out any memory captivating, way I could. My games that I played in are literally like a blur to me. It's almost like someone else's memory that was told to me. Now I kind of have a mental image of what that might have looked like. It's weird. It's so weird. Yes, I played in a lot of college football games. I became a college football All-American. I once again had a lot of success on the field, but I was so scared to death of failing that I never stopped to enjoy it. Here I am stepping on the field in front of, 70, 80,000 people on national TV, Saturday night primetime game. I don't even hardly remember it. But here's something that I want you to think about. The things that I do remember from college were the times I was happy. I just completely blocked out any stress, any bad time when I was in college. Like I just compartmentalized it and just threw it in a corner somewhere. I remember some happy times, but I don't remember those times that I should have. And, the drinking absolutely continued through college. At one point, I'm not going to say I was addicted to painkillers, but I had to have them to practice every day. It was my body was just that beaten up. You now know I've had 6 knee surgeries, a chunk of bone missing out of my shoulder. Like my body was beaten up. So the time that, and I'm totally condensing this for you, the time I graduated college, the time I finished playing college football, I was beaten down. It was pretty bad. Like physically, mentally, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was depressed, full of anxiety, full of fear. Didn't even know who I was, didn't even know what I wanted to do, had no clue about any of that. And there was days when I finished playing football, I went to another year of grad school. I wanted to get my MBA, which I did. But there was days in grad school where I would go to class and come home. And on my way home, I would go buy a bottle of liquor and sit on my porch and just get drunk. I just didn't like myself. And it wasn't like bullying or anything like that. It was all self-imposed. It was all these fears that were like literally crippling me, keeping me from enjoying life. When I did like go and hang out with my friends and we would go to, the old mugshots before it burned down in Hattiesburg, when I would go do these things, I wasn't doing them to have fun. I was doing these to escape my reality. I was doing these things to literally like ease the pain. Hey, if I can go get really drunk, and I think I honestly paid the light bill at Mugshots a few months. If I could go get really drunk and be around other people, then I don't have to think about how miserable my life is. That's what I was living for. I was going to class 4 days a week and partying 3 to 4 days a week. I was on my weight loss journey by this point. Little over a year of grad school, I think it was, it was a little over a year of grad school. I lost about 105 pounds, not healthy. I was just drinking, not eating, and exercising, which is a great combination for unhealthy weight loss. And here I am a year later. I had my MBA in finance. I was a former college football All-American. My whole life in front of me. And I'm depressed. And the whole reason I went on my weight loss journey was because I was depressed. I didn't like myself. So I'm like, you know what? Lose the weight. Like that's always been the thing that's been your biggest insecurity. That's always been the biggest thing that's drowned you in fear. So let's lose the weight. I lost 105 pounds and didn't solve one issue I was dealing with. I was still just as empty, just as broken on the inside as I was at 305 pounds. I never addressed the real issues that were going on. So here I am graduating college at 23, and things weren't any better. Like literally, I just went through 10 years of my life and nothing. Like I accomplished so much, but on the inside felt so empty. I was miserable. Like I was portraying, and even my friends, this is so bad. I hate admitting this, but it's true. Even my friends called me the politician. I was so good at faking happiness. So good at faking and projecting who I wanted society to see me as, because I didn't want them to see how bad I was hurting on the inside. Because you gotta remember, once again, I'm a people pleaser. I don't want them to know how bad I was hurting on the inside. I didn't want them to know how depressed I was. how full of anxiety I was. I didn't want them to know that. So, at home, I'm just broken. Like literally depressed, broken. But as soon as I would open that door and go outside, here comes the smile. Here comes life is beautiful. Life is wonderful. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I'm so, gracious, all this. Yeah, it was all a show. And I lived that way literally for, the first 2/3 of my life. But once again, that foundation, part one and part two of my origin story led me to probably, part three is what we're going to cover next week. And it's where I did the most growth. So without part one and part two, I never would have hit rock bottom during part three to be where I'm at now. So yes, it was terrible. It was awful. During part one and part two of my origin stories, I almost ended things twice. A lot of you don't know that. A lot of people, I hadn't told that to a lot of people. But there was one episode during, the first 13 years of my life. And there was one during this next episode of my life where I literally said, no, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm out of here. I can't take it anymore. This world has nothing for me. I am offering nothing to the world. I am a failure. I'm out of here. Literally twice. But I'm still here. And I'm going to cover that in the next part of why I'm still here and what got me through that. But part one and part two of my origin story is my motivation in life. It's honestly why I work so hard every single day to become a better version of myself so I may learn my medicine, which I have, and now I can teach it to others. The whole reason I'm doing this right now, the whole reason I'm literally being this vulnerable for the world to see is because I've learned my medicine and now I want to help you. I want to give you my medicine to heal you. It's tough. It's tough being this vulnerable. I literally have to find my center and really calm myself down before I can go to these places with you, because every time I think about these memories, it does dredge up a lot. But here's what I know. I know I'm not alone in this. I know that there's a ton of people out there that feel exactly like I did. I have friends right now with teenage kids, and I see what those teenage kids are going through. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what they're thinking right now because I was that person. I know what they're going through. And I just want to help them. I just want to show them that they can be the hero of their journey. They can take their origin story and not be the victim of it. They can choose to put the hero to bed and wake the hero instead. Put the victim to bed and wake the hero instead. For so much of those first 23 years of my life, I was the victim. I blamed everyone for my problems. It was never my fault. I never took responsibility for what was wrong in my life, which is why I was always dealing with the same issues over and over and over again, because they were all on me. But I never said that. I never knew that. I never took responsibility for my actions. I'd always blame everyone else. So guys, I went a little long tonight. Apologize for that. But this is part two of my origin story. And the whole reason I'm doing these origin stories is so many people I work with now, they don't understand why I'm so passionate about why I do what I do. They don't understand why I'm so passionate about telling this message and getting this out there. These origin stories are there to help you understand that it's because I've been where you are. It's because I know what the depths of despair feel like. I know what it's like to literally want to end your life. I know what that's like. And I've learned so much through this process that I just want to help you. I just want to let you know that you're not alone in this. I want to let you know that all it takes is one decision. All it takes is one decision to change your life, and you can do that at any given time. It's what I had to do, and it's what that decision to change my life is what I'm going to talk about next week. So I hope you got something out of it tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching, guys, I appreciate it so much. You have no idea. And if you got some value from the night, please leave me a comment, like, and share this video. Like I said, next week is going to be part 3, which is going to lead you up to today. It's going to be that, the last third of my life so far. So I'm going to cover that next week, and you're going to hear that turning point that changed my life, that point in the hero's journey where I accepted the call to adventure, which is a fun part of the journey. And that's that one decision that you have to make to change your life. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. And I promise you I'm going to keep delivering these content. Just show me some love and let me know if you got some value out of the night. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week.